10,005th meeting of Security Council is resumed. Now I give the floor to His Excellency, Mr. Jackie Levent Gimlikju, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs of Turkey. Rukiye.
Mr. President, we commend Republic of Korea for organizing this first ever UN Security Council high-level open debate dedicated to artificial intelligence and international peace and security, which I understand is on its third day now, and I think one of the most popular debates as well, apparently. But indeed, this is truly a historic and visionary initiative, since the impact of artificial intelligence in the military and security domain will continue to grow for years to come. In fact, we already see a growing interest by every state to leverage AI technology in their military plans and programs. This is in fact inevitable, and if used responsibly, there is no doubt that AI may bring immense benefit in terms of accuracy and efficiency in particular, which can also enhance the implementation of international humanitarian law and assist in efforts to protect civilians in armed conflicts. But we have to be equally aware that AI can also present many risks in the military domain, either from unintended mistakes or from misuse. So there is no doubt that in the wrong hands or with malign objectives, AI-enabled weapons can be extremely disruptive. In fact, you might all remember that AI has been among the technologies once labeled as emerging and disruptive. Although it is no longer emerging, since it is a reality, the disruptive nature is still a possibility, especially if not used responsibly. This is why we must do everything to ensure the responsible use of AI in the military domain, which entails complying with international law, maintaining appropriate human involvement and accountability, and ensuring reliability of AI systems. But I think even more importantly, these efforts should be conducted in a truly multilateral approach, in an open and inclusive manner, to fully reflect the wide-ranging views of different states and different regions with different security concerns. It is also equally important to build capacity in developing countries and promote their full participation in the discussion on the governance of AI in the military domain to prevent yet another gap in the digital world. Finally, it is imperative that our efforts on responsible use should not hamper the efforts on research and development of AI, which is of course essential to harness its positive effects. It is with this understanding that Turkey has always been supportive of every effort, every international effort in that area. For instance, we were actively involved in the preparation of NATO's guidelines for responsible use of AI, which was the first of its kind back in 2021. We have also supported from the very outset the RIAIM process initiated by the Netherlands and Republic of Korea in 2023. In fact, within that process, we organized last year a regional workshop bringing together countries from Balkans to Central Asia and to the Middle East to facilitate sharing of good practices and to enable collective thinking. Now, looking into the future, Turkey remains committed to make sure that AI contributes to international peace and security and that its risks and challenges are reduced to the extent possible. We believe that this is an issue which cannot and should not be made an area of competition among states. The consequences of that can be too costly for all of us. Hence, the need for true international collaboration, for which the United Nations is the perfect platform. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Kim Lyu-chik for the statement. Now I give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Abdullahman Al-Lassi, Deputy Minister for International Multilateral Affairs of Saudi Arabia.
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, Your Excellency, Mr. President, allow me at the outset to congratulate you on your able leadership of the Council during this month. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Security Council, God blessing, peace be upon you. The world is at a landmark juncture in the field of technological advancement. AI offers simultaneously promising potentials and tremendous challenges. AI is able to strengthen international peace and security if used responsibly, but could also trigger tensions and instability if its multidimensional repercussions, technical and ethical complexities are ignored. Accordingly, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia reiterates that the responsible use and safe use of AI is a major commitment in all fields, civilian, military, and in the fields of health, economy, and defense. In this regard, the Kingdom took part in a number of and a range of national and international initiatives, most notably Humane Project in May of 2025 under the auspices of the Public Investment Fund. The fund aims at building a global AI infrastructure to establish the Kingdom as a pioneering global hub in this field. Through cooperation with major companies specialized in infrastructure, cloud computing, and advanced technologies. These efforts come in full alignment with the Vision 2030 of the Kingdom that made AI a strategic cornerstone to accelerate economic development, empower and build capacities, and improve the quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, as countries around the world adopt advanced AI technologies and harness their potentials and invest in their promising potentials, we need to guarantee the safety and security of our citizens at the international and national level against the threat of technologies that are developed in an environment without binding regulatory frameworks that guarantee their use responsibly in line with human values, privacy, and security. Realizing the complexities of such technologies, whether in terms of cybersecurity, automation and its impact on labor market, as well as environmental sustainability challenges to military use or predictive AI, the Kingdom has adopted a comprehensive approach to address these dimensions through advanced national legislations and effective governance frameworks, as well as programs to build capacities while reiterating the principles of transparency and accountability. Safeguarding international peace and security in the age of AI requires genuine collaboration and an approach that is based on respect and partnership, as well as the respect of human rights, in addition to investment in responsible innovation. We reiterate our commitment to become an effective partner in these common efforts to guarantee that these technologies remain an instrument of peace and development and not a tool of division and threat. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank His Excellency Mr. Al-Lassi for the statement. Now I give the floor to the representative of Brazil.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to the Republic of Korea for organizing today's debate. Mr. President, Brazil believes that all technologies must be guided by appropriate ethical and regulatory frameworks to ensure their responsible use and the well-being of all. Unsupervised and unregulated AI poses a risk in the military domain and to peace and security. Brazil has been actively engaged in the rulemaking process around AI, both in its civil aspects and in peace and security in the General Assembly, which remains the appropriate forum for international policymaking in this area. Brazil was part of the core group that negotiated and approved a resolution on AI in the military domain last year. We have also worked constructively with Singapore to bring the Cyber Open-Ended Working Group process to a successful conclusion in July. As a result of this process, we will soon have a permanent mechanism to discuss the application of information technology tools to peace and security. Over the past year, we have been informed with great alarm of reports of AI being used for the building of target banks in Gaza, which may have included hundreds of civilians as legitimate targets within quotation marks, and increased damage to civilian infrastructure. They may also have weakened the ability for oversight and accountability in clear violation of humanitarian law. According to international humanitarian law, the final decision on the selection of a military target must always rest with a human being. Violations committed on the basis of AI errors still give rise to state responsibility and may also entail individual criminal responsibility for war crimes. Mr. President, the lives of millions could be at the mercy of a software error if we take into account the impact of the imperfections of AI systems on WMDs, on nuclear early warning systems, or on launch authority. With regard to lethal autonomous weapons, their ability to select and engage targets without meaningful human control poses a risk of eroding the principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution, and could fundamentally undermine accountability for violations of international humanitarian law. Mr. President, the international community must develop clear rules and safeguards to prevent the delegation of life and death decisions to machines. That is why AI use must be strictly regulated to comply with international law and with international humanitarian law. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Brazil for the statement. Now I give the floor to the representative of Thailand.
Mr. President, Thailand commends your leadership in convening this important debate. Fostering a shared understanding of AI's opportunity and risk is essential. When used responsibly, AI can advance peace and security, sustainable development, conflict prevention, humanitarian coordination, and UN peacekeeping operations. We, however, remain deeply concerned about the growing threat of malicious cyber activities, targeting critical infrastructure, disrupting essential services, and undermining security. Addressing AI's implications in an inclusive and a cooperative manner is therefore imperative. I wish to highlight 4 key points. First, Thailand supports an inclusive international governance framework under the UN. This framework should promote a responsible and ethical development that respects human rights and prevents misuse. It should balance innovation and regulation, mitigating risk without hindering progress. It should address equitable access with capacity building through knowledge sharing, technology transfer, and inclusive support. Second, a strengthening regional cooperation for AI serves as a driver of peace, security, and sustainable development. ASEAN initiatives on AI governance complement UN efforts. Notable examples include the ASEAN Guide on AI Governance and Ethics, the ASEAN Responsible AI Roadmap, and the joint statement by the ASEAN Defense Ministers on cooperation in the field of artificial intelligence in the defense sector. Third, an autonomous weapons technologies evolved. The international community must ensure that development and use of AI in this domain respect international law, preserve human oversight, and strengthen global security. Non-binding international guidelines are a practical first step to build trust and understanding. Lastly, risk from AI-enabled disinformation poses a serious threat to international peace and security. When weaponized across borders, disinformation can heighten tensions, fuel mistrust, and escalate both conventional and hybrid conflicts. Mr. President, it is essential to reform global governance and ensure responsible AI use, particularly in the military domains. Thailand calls for a strengthened international cooperation to ensure AI is deserving place in peace, security, and sustainable development. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Thailand for the statement. Now I give the floor to representative of Nepal.
Thank you, Mr. President, Excellencies. First of all, I thank the Presidency of Republic of Korea for convening this very timely debate. Mr. President, artificial intelligence is the defining technology of our digital era. From machine learning and robotics to deep learning and computer vision, the AI landscape is evolving faster than governance frameworks can adapt. It holds immense promise, but also profound peril for international peace, security, and sustainable development. The AI is a strategic enabler. It can detect early warning signs of conflict, identify preventive measures, strengthen peacekeeping, facilitate negotiations, monitor ceasefires, coordinate humanitarian response, and foster global partnership for peace. It also enhances decision-making, promotes inclusive dialogue, empowers communities, and supports informed public discourse. AI-driven education tools are also vital to instill peace, values, and nurture trust across diverse societies. Yet, the risks are formidable. AI's integration into nuclear systems raises grave legal and ethical concerns. Autonomous military technologies may trigger unintended escalations. AI can be weaponized to spread disinformation, launch cyber attacks, erode institutional trust, enable human rights abuses, and manipulate public sentiments, undermining democratic processes. Automations may displace jobs, widen economic divides, and fuel social unrest. An AI-led arms race could destabilize global power balances. And in emergencies, AI systems making critical decisions without human oversight may worsen the outcomes. Mr. President, like many countries, Nepal sees AI as a double-edged force, offering pathways to leapfrog development while exposing vulnerabilities that could deepen divides. Our national AI policy envisions a human-centric, ethical, and inclusive digital future. Yet, we face real constraints: infrastructure deficits, skill and innovation gaps, low institutional capacity, and reliance on foreign platforms. In the absence of global norms on safety, fairness, and accountability, countries like Nepal risk being sidelined, vulnerable to unintended consequences and systemic inclusion. Inclusive, transparent frameworks are therefore essential to ensure that all nations, regardless size or income, can harness AI safely and equitably. To unlock AI's full promise, we must act with urgency and unity. A whole-of-world collaborations is key. Through global cooperations, we can pool knowledge and resources to tackle shared challenges. As the most representative global forum, the UN must play a pivotal role in ensuring responsible, well-regulated, and ethical use of AI technologies. Mr. President, on this, let me underscore a few points. First is we, as the international community, must advance a global AI governance framework to ensure responsible and ethical AI development and use, putting global peace, security, development, and justice at the core. The Security Council should act with unity, resilience, and propose to this end. Second, we need to integrate national, regional, and global AI regulation initiatives to strengthen global AI governance while enhancing cybersecurity safeguards. Third, developing and enforcing a framework for holding state and non-state actors to account for malicious use of AI technologies is a must. Fourth, our stakeholder consultations and partnership among public, private, and civil society actors is vital for harnessing AI potential for shared growth and sustainability. Fifth, aligning AI use with climate action, preventive diplomacy strategies, and sustainable development goals is essential to enhance people's trust, improve governance, and foster global growth. For this, AI education and awareness is equally important. Mr. President, in conclusion, AI is a boon of human ingenuity that should serve us rather than divide us. AI must not weaponize under all circumstances. Let us embrace AI learning future where peace prevails and security thrives for everyone and for everywhere. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Nepal for the statement. Now I give the floor to representative of El
Señor presidente. Mr. President, El Salvador thanks you for convening this important open debate, and we would like to praise Korea for having included on the agenda of this body progress in science and technology, including emerging technologies and its role in the maintenance of international peace and security. My country took part in the open debate on cybersecurity last year, and we welcome the current debate on artificial intelligence as a progression in our deliberations in the Security Council. Artificial intelligence as a technology in general use has a number of capabilities with enormous potential that has developed at an unprecedented speed. However, because of its dual-use nature, there are also risks and threats in the civilian and military spheres. And it's fundamental that we recognize the benefits that can be derived from artificial intelligence at the same time as understanding the risks in the context of international peace and security, in particular in areas of very high sensitivity, such as weapons of mass destruction, the risk of proliferation or cyber attacks against critical infrastructure and global supply chains. This being the case, El Salvador's contribution is to identify the most critical areas that are associated with the malicious use of artificial intelligence when it comes to international security. And we would like to invite you, the Security Council, to think about how we can address this within our organs and mandates. Firstly, the role of AI in the taking of military decisions, particularly in command and control systems for weapons, must not substitute meaningful human participation and agency, particularly when it comes to the use of force. This will guarantee not only the preservation of the command and control line of command, but also will ensure the prevention of automation that could lead to unintentional conflicts and reduce opportunities for de-escalation. The integration of AI in critical systems can increase the speed of response, and with that, dangerously reduce the margin for maneuver. Secondly, the results of AI depend on the quality of the data that has fed the system during its life cycle. The integrity, traceability, and the origin of data are essential, particularly in the military domain. Deficient data or manipulated data can compromise the precision, increase human errors, and expose systems to malicious contamination and move it away from its original purpose. Thirdly, there are significant technological risks, technical breakdowns, erratic behavior, exploitation of vulnerabilities, and cyber attacks. These risks exist in the whole digital environment, but obviously, those things are very much intensified when systems are dealing with military security issues. And finally, President, for El Salvador, the ethical and moral imperatives should be front and center here. To delegate international peace and security to AI would run the risk not only of reducing our ability to take decisions, but also our own humanity. Artificial intelligence should strengthen what makes us human, not move us away from that. In the military domain, its application should be strictly within the framework of international law, international humanitarian law, and international human rights law. And at the end of the day, this is the most important. It should serve the common good. Thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of El Salvador for the statement. Muchas gracias. And now I give the floor to representative of Malaysia.
Thank you, Mr. President. Malaysia expresses appreciation to the Republic of Korea for convening this open debate. Discussions on the use of AI in the military domain is gaining attention, and for good reasons. Many recognize the potential of advancing and innovating AI technologies in peace and security matters. For example, to enhance peacekeeping, support conflict prevention, and strengthen humanitarian responses. This can be among the many important potentials that AI technologies can contribute to the promotion of global peace and security. However, the potential of AI being used to undermine peace and security, create instability, and intensify the brutality of war is also deeply concerning. For example, reports that Israel is testing and deploying this very technology to expand mass killing and targeting of civilians in Gaza are shocking and hugely disturbing. As detailed in the report by UN experts released in April last year, these revelations not only underscore the catastrophic human cost of Israel's military operations in Gaza, but also expose a horrific new frontier of warfare, one where AI is weaponized to kill and destroy with devastating efficiency and minimal accountability. Malaysia is deeply concerned by the reports of Gaza being used by the Israeli military as a testing ground for AI-assisted weapons and surveillance technologies. It has significantly contributed to the staggering number of civilian casualties in Gaza. As highlighted in multiple reports, Israel has deployed weaponized drones, remote-controlled explosive devices, biometric surveillance, and facial recognition systems not to minimize harm, but to systematically target homes, families, and civilian infrastructure with greater speed and scale. These advanced technologies are not merely tools of war. They are being deliberately used to intensify destruction, inflict maximum human suffering, and facilitate what the UN Commission of Inquiry has described as genocide. Israel's use of AI to violate international law by conducting mass killings in Gaza has been further substantiated by the report of the Special Rapporteur on the situation of human rights in Palestine, released in June this year. With the support of its allies, both state and non-state actors, the Israeli military has been rapidly developing AI systems and testing them on Palestinian civilians. Behind the veil of the so-called startup nation, Israel has actively attracted military tech startups, registering a 143% growth in 2024, with technology comprising 64% of Israeli exports throughout the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Mr. President, Malaysia welcomes the opportunity for capacity building and knowledge sharing in technologies, including in AI. However, there is a real urgency for the international community to ensure responsible application of AI in the military domain. Malaysia urges the Security Council to prioritize actions to comprehensively analyze its full implications, look into its proper regulation, and punish its abuse in cases where it contributes toward further aggravating the brutality of warfare. We understand that using AI in the military domain is a trajectory that cannot be avoided. However, what must be avoided is the abuse of the technology to facilitate war crimes with minimal accountability. It is patently clear that genocide is being perpetrated in Gaza right now, and reports by UN experts have proven that AI-assisted technologies are being used. Immediate and concrete actions must be taken against Israel. We must urgently make sure that AI systems are used ethically, humanly, transparently, and safely, with strong rules and oversight. Most importantly, there must be accountability for those who weaponize and use AI to expand their war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. Mr. President, to conclude, Malaysia reiterates its call for the Security Council to fulfill its primary responsibility for maintaining international peace and security as mandated by the UN Charter. Malaysia fully supports technological progress, but not at the risk of undermining legal accountability or facilitating oppression, causing human sufferings, and enabling crimes against humanity. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Malaysia for the statement. Now I give the floor to the representative of Canada.
Thank you, Mr. President. And on behalf of Canada, I would like to thank the Republic of Korea for convening us at this timely, open debate on the impact of artificial intelligence on international peace and security. AI is increasingly exerting a growing influence on our societies and economies. It has demonstrated immense potential to drive economic growth, combat climate change, enable innovations in science, and support development in line with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. By improving the evaluation of states' compliance with international law, AI can help international organizations develop timely and evidence-based assessments of global threats to human rights, safety, and security. Used with the appropriate safeguards, AI can indeed inform deliberations in this chamber, at the General Assembly, and across the UN system. But AI's dual-use nature means that the same capabilities that make it a transformative force for good also pose transnational risks to individual rights, democratic norms, and peace and security. Biases in AI have led to unlawful discrimination, including against women and girls. AI-powered chatbots are causing mental and physical harm to children and other vulnerable populations highly reliant on them. AI has also been weaponized by authoritarian states to surveil activists and minorities in pursuit of social and political control. Many militaries also increasingly deploy it as a force multiplier in conflict, amplifying their ability to identify and target adversaries on the battlefield. We can see how AI poses both challenges and opportunities for international law. It is critical, now more than ever, to reinforce international human rights and humanitarian law in our efforts to govern AI. This is why Canada has championed and contributed to a range of international efforts seeking to anchor the global governance of AI in international law, ensure AI is safe, secure, and trustworthy, and promote multi-stakeholder cooperation to seize AI's benefits across sectors and close digital divides, key themes in Canada's G7 presidency. In the civilian domain, Canada has supported the UN Global Digital Compact, which sets a vision for making AI a force for good around the world and a basis for scientific cooperation and inclusive dialogue on its challenges and opportunities. Canada was also proud to sign the first international convention on AI and human rights at the Council of Europe earlier this year, a landmark effort that reinforces states' obligations under international human rights law in the context of AI. Monsieur le Président.
Mr. President, in the military domain, Canada has adopted a responsible approach to artificial intelligence. It prioritizes reliability, transparency, fairness, accountability, and trust, and it is based on compliance with applicable national and international law. Canada strongly supports the principles outlined in the action plan presented at this summit on the responsible AI in the military domain, led by the Republic of Korea and the Netherlands. We have also endorsed and supported the political declaration led by the United States on the responsible use of AI and artificial autonomy in the military domain. Furthermore, Canada actively participates in promoting responsible AI in the military field alongside its NATO allies, where we contribute to the development of a toolkit.
The UNSC has an important role to play in the global governance of AI. Amid intensifying geopolitical competition, we face a threat of a race to the bottom, in which states eschew cooperation in favor of domination, deepening power imbalances, and threatening peace and security worldwide. The Council can foster dialogue on the use of AI in peacekeeping, in conflict, and in other areas within its mandate. And given its authorities, it is uniquely positioned to adapt core principles in the UN Charter to the digital environment and affirm the application of international law to AI. Such efforts could guide priorities on AI at the UN and beyond. They could, for instance, inform the focus of discussions at the new Global Dialogue on AI Governance or the International Independent Scientific Panel on AI, and prompt greater collaboration between the UN and other international organizations at the political and technical levels. Canada looks forward to continued engagement on AI during High Level Week and at upcoming global fora like India's AI Impact Summit and the inaugural Global Dialogue on AI Governance next year. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Canada for the statement. Now I will give the floor to the representative of Malta.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Malta expresses its gratitude to the Republic of Korea for convening this historical and indeed timely open debate. Peace, security, and economic stability go hand in hand. AI can be a tool that helps to unlock economic stability around the world, as it provides countless opportunities for innovation and economic growth. It multiplies productivity, allowing individuals or small teams to achieve more and faster. AI also gives people access to unprecedented tools and knowledge. Yet, the vision of AI as an enabler for peace and security can only come to realization if we recognize the existence of a large and growing digital divide, and if the international community comes together to bridge this divide. It is common knowledge that the computational hardware, software models, technical knowledge, and regulatory frameworks that are required for a thriving and healthy AI ecosystem are not distributed uniformly across the international community. We therefore encourage member states to engage in capacity building efforts, sharing both expertise and technological capacity. President, it is of utmost importance that the great power that artificial intelligence possesses does not go unchecked. It is also our duty to strike the right balance. The responsible development and application of AI models should remain the cornerstone of both our regulatory frameworks and further innovation in the field. This is crucial to ensure that all nations may benefit from this technology without jeopardizing our mission to ensure international peace and security. Artificial intelligence is also playing a role in ongoing wars. Autonomous drones are now a technological reality, presenting us with the first glimpse of lethal autonomous weapon systems. Malta is firmly of the opinion that such systems do not have a place in the battlefield. It is essential not to lose sight of the necessity to have human oversight in any decision-making that is guided by AI systems. Having a human in the loop is important across the board, since it helps to mitigate against the bias or unpredictability that may be present in any AI model. It is orders of magnitude more important, however, in conflict scenarios. Life or death decisions cannot and must not be delegated to a technological system that, however refined, is bound to be flawed. Aside from the human toll that such automated decisions may entail, they may be difficult to explain or rationalize, thus helping to destabilize regions that are on the brink of war. Let us also not lose sight of another aspect of artificial intelligence. Social media. It is awash with so-called AI slop, typically AI-generated videos that hijack recommendation algorithms. These videos are one symptom of a broader problem. AI bots are being given unfettered access to digital platforms, providing an efficient and cost-effective way to spread mis- and disinformation on a global scale. The UN must promote digital literacy as the key tool to counteract this rising tide of digital mis- and disinformation. Additionally, the UN's Digital Public Infrastructure Initiative, which Malta is proud to have contributed to at its inception, could help promote further technological sovereignty, ensuring that states have the technological capability to serve the digital needs of their citizens. President, in conclusion, artificial intelligence presents the world with wonderful opportunities, but it also comes with great challenges. And so Malta urges the international community to rise to the occasion and ensure that safeguards are put in place and be respected so that we may all benefit from the great potential of artificial intelligence and so that AI can be a true enabler of peace, security and development. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Malta for your statement. Now I give the floor to representative of Israel.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Israel congratulates the Republic of Korea for its important initiative to hold this timely and valuable open debate on an important topic for international peace and security. We thank the briefers and participants in this meeting as they enriched us with insightful perspectives. We regret, however, that certain delegations chose to cynically use this forum to bluntly politicize this crucial issue. Mr. President, emerging technologies are crucial for human development, offer tremendous opportunities, and they are both a product of and a catalyst for social and economic innovation. Emerging technologies are force multipliers that can assist humanity across a wide range of fields, including food security and climate change. AI and other emerging technologies bring a whole variety of opportunities in almost every field, including in the military domain. In light of these potential opportunities and tremendous benefits they may hold, and being cognizant of the fact that technology is in itself neutral, Israel believes that such emerging technologies must not be negatively stigmatized and that a cautious and measured approach regarding constraints on their development or use in the military domain should be adopted and practiced. Furthermore, Israel is of the view that emerging technologies such as AI technologies hold particular benefits in the military domain, including the potential to improve compliance with international humanitarian law. This is another reason why a holistic view should be maintained so that there is no risk the international community unjustifiably disregards technologies that can be lawfully employed and may contribute to enhancing security for the benefit of all. That said, Israel believes that states in the military use of AI should take appropriate measures to ensure the responsible development, deployment, and use of military AI capabilities. Furthermore, states should take appropriate steps to ensure that AI capabilities are used consistent with their respective obligations under international law, in particular international humanitarian law. Mr. President, the era we live in is indeed challenges international peace and security on many levels, with a major phenomenon being the growing impact and dangers that non-state actors, primarily terrorist groups, create. In this vein, states must work together to contend with the threat of proliferation of emerging technologies to non-state actors and especially to terrorist groups. This threat can lead to catastrophic implications. As the potential of AI and technology for the benefit of humanity has no borders, sadly, the risks of knowledge and technological tools falling into the hands of terrorists has no borders as well. Mr. President, in light of all this, Israel values inclusive multilateral discussions that aim to strike the right balance between military necessity, technological potential, and humanitarian considerations. In this context, we note that Israel has endorsed the International Political Declaration on Responsible Military Use of Artificial Intelligence and Autonomy led by the United States. With regard to lethal autonomous weapon systems, the progress that has been made in the discussions within the CCW should be highlighted, while also noting the need for further work in the GGE to reach tangible consensual outcomes. Israel believes it is important to continue discussions within the CCW in a substantive and meaningful way, focusing on informed discussions that allow us to further our mutual understandings and continue to examine the aspects that have been raised so far. Alongside this, Israel participated in recent years in the Re-AIM summits led by the Republic of Korea and the Netherlands. We see the Re-AIM initiative as a framework to foster dialogue on the responsible development and use of artificial intelligence in the military, bring together governments, industry, academia, and civil society to discuss the opportunities and risks of AI in this domain. Once again, Mr. President, Israel congratulates your delegation for initiating this important UN Security Council meeting. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Israel for the statement. Now I give the floor to Mr. Dominic Bahulera, Acting Special Representative of Interpol.
Thank you, Mr. President, Excellencies. We thank the Republic of Korea for convening this open debate and the briefers for the comprehensive interventions. We We stand at a crossroads in the governance of AI. While the criminal misuse of AI poses a serious threat to global peace and security, the technology also offers powerful opportunities to enhance law enforcement capabilities. Amidst these competing forces, Interpol would like to highlight 3 key points. First, we must do more to combat the criminal misuse of AI. Increasingly, AI-generated content is being used to deceive, defraud, harass, and extort victims, especially through impersonation scams and online sexual blackmail. These crimes are often linked to wider criminal enterprises, including human trafficking. Interpol is actively responding to this threat. We have issued purple notices warning member states about AI-enabled fraud and deepfake enhanced scams. We have also led global operations to dismantle networks exploiting AI. For instance, Operation Haechi in 2024, supported by the Republic of Korea, took down thousands of cyber-enabled scams across 5 continents. Second, we must employ AI positively to strengthen the global security architecture. By fostering dialogue and knowledge exchange, we can harness AI responsibly to support law enforcement. Through our Innovation Center in Singapore, in partnership with UNICRE, Interpol has developed the AI Toolkit, a comprehensive guide on the responsible use of AI by police. Third, we must maximize collaboration between the various actors and the platforms governing AI. Given the unprecedented speed of AI development, synergy among all relevant actors is essential. In this regard, Interpol reaffirms its commitment to contribute expertise to the recently established Independent International Scientific Panel on AI and the Global Dialogue on AI Governance aligned with the Global Digital Compact. Mr. President, by working together, we can ensure AI serves as a force for good, protecting communities, upholding the rule of law, and securing a safer future for all. I thank you.
I thank Mr. Bahorila for the statement. The representative of Pakistan has asked for the floor to make further statement. I give them the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is regrettable that instead of constructively engaging on the vital issue of artificial intelligence and its implication for international peace and security, a delegation has chosen to indulge in a familiar political rhetoric and unfounded accusations. It is ironic for a country with a long record of state-sponsored terrorism and human rights violations at home and abroad, seeking to lecture on responsible state conduct. Its own conduct raises fundamental concerns regarding the responsible use of technology, including military AI. Its record is marked by reckless military adventurism, unprovoked aggressions, violations of international law, and policies that heighten regional instability under the cover of its nuclear arsenal. Mr. President, this important debate is focused on how to ensure that emerging technologies, including military application of AI, are governed by the principles of international law, the UN Charter, and international humanitarian law. Let us not be distracted by a state that has little regard for those principles. Let us work together to ensure that AI is harnessed to promote peace and development, not conflict and instability. I thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. There are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. So now the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.